Good morning to all. Today we are going to discuss about file operations, that is in C. So what is file? So file is a collection of data stored on the secondary storage device like hard disk. So we want to store any data that can be stored under the form of files, which means it may be a text file or binary files we are storing under the on the hard disk. So two types of streams available we already discussed in the previous chapters. That is the input stream and another one is output streams. So input stream means that way we are giving input to the system. That input device, which device we are using for input? Mainly we are using keyboard. Through keyboard only we get the data. That is called input stream. Then what is output stream? So output stream means the data given it shows in the display. That means which is on our computer screen. This is the output screen. Here they are going to mention three standard streams which is used in the file systems. So first one is standard input, that is mentioned as std in, and second one is standard output, which is mentioned here std out, and third one is standard error, that is std error, err. So standard input std in means which is the input in the stream form which the program receives its data. That means the program read request to transfer of data using the read operations. So input file mainly related with read operations. In the normal variable we are getting, that function is scanner function we are using to read the data from the keyboard. Here uh, in the file operations we will discuss later. And second one is standard output. So which means that is it writes its output data. The program records data transfer using the write operations. Uh, However, not all the programs generates output. And third one is standard error. So standard error is basically on the output stream used by the program to report error messages. That means if we made some bugs in our program means that only shows to your display. So then we clear the error and again we will execute our program. So here the stream is nothing but is linked to your file using the open operation and dissociated from the file using the close operations. So next one is buffer. What do you mean by buffer? A buffer is a temporary storage. That is when you're creating the disk file, that is when you're creating the file, the buffer is already automatically created, okay, when associated with the stream. So buffer is nothing but a block of memory that is used for temporary storage of data that has to be read from or written to the file. If you want to open the file means we need this buffer. So directly the file, when you open the file, the buffer will be automatically opened where only we are doing our operations. That means read or write, whatever operation we are doing in that file, that everything will be done at the buffer. It is a temporary storage place. So here we are going to discuss about two types of files. One is the ASCII files, that means ASCII text files. Another one is binary file. So what do you mean by text files? Text file is a stream of characters that can be sequentially processed by the computer in a forward directions. So open for one kind of operations, that means reading, writing and appending at any given time. So it's nothing but this human readable form, all are coming under the text files. Then what is binary file? So binary files are the files that are not human readable. That means it is only the binary form, but that means zeros and ones. If you want the data in the file to be human readable, then we can store it as a text file. So human readable format, human not readable format means that is binary file. What and all the coming under the binary files means um, a recording and then music files. So that and all coming under the binary files. So next we are going to discuss about file pointer. So pointer already we discussed in the previous class. What is pointer? Pointer is a variable that is used to store the address of the another variable. It is something different. It is a file pointer. So file pointer is a variable that is used to refer to the opened file in a C program. So a file pointer is actually a structure that stores the file data such as file name, its location and mode, and the current position in the file. So it is used in almost all the file operations in C, such as opening, closing, and reading and writing. So file pointer is the important one. If we want to open the file, we need to file pointer. In that file pointer, what and all be available means, first one is file name. File name means if whether it is a text file or binary file, and its locations where you are going to store that file. For example, we are using C drive, D drive, like that. So in which drive we are using this, we are storing this file. And then modes are, many modes are available, that read, write, up and like that only. So which mode we are opening the file, and the current position in that file. So that is coming under the file pointer. Without the file pointer, we cannot access the file. So what is the syntax for using the file pointer? FILE capital letters and star PTR. So PTR is the file pointer name I am giving. So you can use any other file pointer name like file star FB. In many examples, they are mentioning file star FB or file star FPTR. So like that, they will mention. So using files in C. So what are the operation we are going to perform in the C means, first declaring a file pointer variable, then we have to open the file and process the file and close the file. So basically open the file, process the file and close the file, which means we want to open the file, and then process file means we can do some operations, that means read operation, write operations or append operations, whatever operation that is command under the process the file. And then once the operation is successfully completed, then finally we have to close the file. So these are the basic uh, file operations we are going to perform in the upcoming sessions. So we already saw previously the what is the syntax for declaring the file pointer is file capital letters FILE star FB and semicolon. So first we are going to see about opening the file. So for that I am going to here use the online uh, GDP. If you want to open the file means, first standard input output library in time. Then first we have to create the file pointer. Here file star FB I am creating as a file pointer. In that file pointer we have to mention, so I am going to open F open. So opening the file only we are going to create C. So before opening the file, first we have to create the file. So if we want to create the file means open the file. Both cases we are going to use the write operations. So first give the name for the file. For example, sample.txt file. That should be mentioned within the double quote, comma. Here I am going to open in a write mode. That means if you want to open, or if we want to close, if you want to create the file, we have to use in a write mode. Once the file created means, uh, then that file will be used for write mode. So once I created the fopen functions, fopen function contains the two terms. One is the file path and another one is the mode of the functions. Here I am using the sample.txt. txt is my file name, and I am creating that file in the write mode. Next, a good programmer is always check for the error. That means if fp double equal to null, always we have to check whatever file program you are creating, this should be there. So print of double quote error opening file, written one. Once the file is created, here I am going to mention print of the file created successfully. Then finally we are going to close the file. Close file we are going to close? The FP. And finally, return 0. So now I'm going to create the sample.txt file. So shall we run the program? Yes, the file is created successfully. Here I am getting the sample.txt. Within this file, I didn't write anything. Just I'm creating the file alone. If suppose you are using the in your Ubuntu platform means that file should be created in your same directory where you are executing the program. That directory itself, the sample.txt file will be created. Only we created the file. We didn't enter any details in that file. So that we will discuss next. So coming to the slide. So opening a file means a file must be opened before data can be read from it or written to it. So if you want to do some operations means first that file should be created. The file is there on file is if file is available only we can do some operations. So in order to open the file and associated it with string, the fopen function is used. So what is the syntax for creating fopen file means file star fopen of constant character file name. That means which is the file path, and second one is which mode we are going to open, whether it is a read mode or write mode or open mode, like that we have to mention. So here I am using the file pointer file star fb semicolon, then fb will contain the fopen function. In that fopen function they are creating some student text file comma in read mode. So they are mentioning in read mode. If fb double equal to null means the print of the file could not be opened and exit 1. So I already executed. So in the second one, that means in this part is, sorry, this part is read or write mode. So which mode we are going to use? Here many modes are available. Read mode. So read mode means only the created text file will be used for reading operations. Next, W mode means write mode. So open the text file for writing. And A means append, already created file. If we want to add some data means we are opening in a append file. This RB, WB and AB, these are all used for the binary file. This R, W and A only used for text files. So RB means reading binary file, WB means writing binary file, AB means appending to the binary file. Then what is R plus? So R plus, W plus and A plus. So what is R plus? Open a text file for both reading and writing. And W plus means open a text file for both reading and writing. And append means both reading and writing. At the stream will be positioned at the end of the file content. So this is the basics one. So once we created the file means definitely we should close the file. So for that only we are using the fclose functions. To close the open file, the fclose function is used which disconnects a file pointer from a file. After the fclose has disconnected the file pointer from the file, the pointer can be used to access the different file or the same file but in different mode. So once the created file will be closed means this fp, that means the file pointer will be released. That file pointer in future will be used for any other text files which may be open in the read mode or write mode. So we can use it for the any other files. So the fclose function not only closes the file but also flush all the buffer that are maintained for that file. That means if you want to read or write the data to the file means we have to access the file. For that, when we are opening the file, the buffer will be automatically generated. In that buffer area only we doing all the performance. Once the file is closed means it automatically settled in the hard disk. So next, first we create the file. We created the file. Next, we are going to write the file, some content. So for that, I'm going to open the same file. So after checking this, I'm going to use a printf function. What is the printf function? Generally, we are using the printf function to display the output. It is a output stream. So we are going to display the output. If you want to create one variable, that variable, how will you display in the output screen means printf and the control specify a double quote and then comma means the variable name. So same only here we are going to use, but before we are going to use the file pointer. So from which file I'm going to enter the data that is stored in the FB. That is this in this place only it will be stored. So F printf means FB comma double quote inside the double quote. I'm going to write the content. Hello, good morning. So, what is the meaning of this? The hello, good morning, this sentence will be written into the FB. What we are storing in this FB? We are actually storing sample.txt that will be stored in the FB, which is in the write mode. So, write mode, if it is available in write mode only, we can able to write the data. Here, just in the same program, I just added one function fprintf. That means fme comma hello, good morning. Shall we run this program? File created successfully. So I write hello good morning. So that is available in sample.txt. If we open the sample.txt, see here I am entering hello good morning. That is available in the sample.txt. So like that we are created one file and inside the file we write some content. So write to the file means we are using the fprintf function. So next, so in this example, previous example, we saw how we open the file, write the content into the file and then close the file. So these basic operations will be completed. So here we are going to discuss about write to the file and read from the file. So two operations, major operations we are going to see here. First one is write to the file. What is the write to the file? Which is the operations is used to perform the is used to enter some data or information inside the file. Okay, so here we are going to see about four different methods. First one is fprintf. So fprintf function is similar to the printf functions. This functions used to formatted string and variable arguments list to print the output to the file. So in fprintf file star stream, that means file star fb that we mentioned, then constant character format. So which format we are going to use? Basically, uh, that we done in the printf functions. Second one is fputs. This means print the whole line in the file and new line at the end. What is the syntax for this? Int fprintf constant character star str and then file stream. Here the variable we are using and then next one is file where we are going to write the data. And third one is fputc. So putc means prints a single character into the file. So foots means string print the whole line. Putc means print the single character into the file. And fputw means print the number to the file. If for example, if I'm storing the file full of the integer values means that value I have to write means I'm using the print fputw functions. And finally fwrite functions. This fwrite function is mainly used to write the into the binary mode. That means not a text file. It is used for the binary file fwrite. So int fwrite constant void str, that variable size t underscore size and size t count and file stream. So size of the variables available, how many members we are going to enter, and then file stream. So here I am going to use first two functions, fprintf and fputs. These two function in my upcoming programs. See here. See here, hash include stdio.h and stdlibrary.h int main. I am created the file pointer file star fp. Then I am going to create one string value. So character date of 50. Hi, good morning, have a nice day. That is stored in your data. Next, I am created the file pointer with the text file fopen equal to of file text comma in write mode, and then I have to check the error conditions. Then next print the file is now open. Here I am using fputs function. So fputs function, what I mentioned here, fputs function is used to write the uh, whole line into the program. So data is contained, hi, good morning to, have a nice day. This content directly write into the file fb. That means fb contain file.txt. So in that file, I'm writing, hi, good morning, have a nice day. So I completed. Once it is completed. After that, I write it in a printf function. Fprintf fp, Ramco Institute of Technology, I'm writing here. So both terms will be available in the file.txt. Finally, I close the file. Printf data successfully written into the file, and the file is now closed. These are the basic information to know to the users I'm using in the printf functions. Shall we execute this one? Here I'm using data.txt. So before that, I'm using some character string, character data of 50, 50 equal to, I'm writing some content, computer programming. So it will check for the conditions. Finally, I'm going to write here f puts of, and I have to mention data, comma, where I have to write in fp. Okay. And then what, computer programming, and then I mentioned f printf. So finally, f puts of, so now we can execute. Computer programming, hello, good morning. So now data.txt will contain computer programming and hello, good morning. These two sentences will be combined in the data.txt file. So these two functions, fputs and fprintf function, will be used to write into the file. And then fwrite function is used to write into the binary file. Next topic is read from your file. So read from your file means if we want to, for example, data.txt file we created. In that file we are mentioning computer programming, good morning, like that we mention some content into the file. That content will be read by the fscanf or fgets or fgetc or fread, any of these functions. So fscanf is basically used to read the data from the file. So what the normal scanf function will do, the same only the fscanf function will do. And fgets will be read the data, whole data, that means whole line from the file, and fgetc read a single character from the file, and fread is mainly used to read the binary files. So here I'm going to gets, and the data.txt file I'm going to open in a read mode. So the read content will be stored in some variable. That's why I've created the D here. So I'm going to check while loop. While loop, because the end of the file, until the end of file, it should read. That's why I'm mentioning while not equal to file end of file of fb. And then here I'm using the fgets file, fgets method, fgets comma d comma 10 comma fb. So d means the data. That means the read read data from the file will be stored in the variable d, and 10 means every 10 lines you have to put it in a one line. That's why I'm here mentioning as a 10. and then FB where I have to read the data. FB will contain the data.txt in a read mode. That file data will be read uh, uh, 10 characters per line, and then it store it in the variable D. And finally, I am going to print the data that is read from the file, and finally I will close the file. So here, so once I created the file, so already it is available in data.txt. I am going to uh, read from the file. So same here, d of quickly I am extending, and then next that file should be open in a read mode. Okay. Next, here I am going to check the while not equal to file end of file, while not equal to file end of file of FB. Then I'm going to fgets of where I'm going to store the data D, comma. I want uh, 5 lines, means I mentioned 5 lines, and then where I have to read FB. Next, I'm going to print the data. Print out percentage yes, comma D. I'm going to close the while loop. This here puts this and all no need. So I change the content of file data is read from the file is successful. So shall we run? Sorry. While so computer programming, hello world. Here I'm using one 2 lines pointer. So then I will get the output differently. See here. So see it in the output page. So every five character from the file will be read and put it in the next line. COMP. Actually, it is 4 letter. The fifth one is the null character. That's why 5. So if suppose I'm changing here is if it is 10 means the output will be different. So COMPUT computer and then one space is available. So 9 character will be read and the next 9 character like that it will be shown in the different sense. So all the data from the data.txt will be read. So and last one is read and write in a binary file. So opening the binary file means we have to use the RB. RB means binary file. So write to the binary file. We are using the fwrite. Fwrite syntax for fwrite. That means fread will be used to read the data from binary file and fwrite is used to write the data into the binary file. Here we are going to see the syntax for fwrite. Fwrite equal of ptr, comma, size, comma, n members, comma, file pointer. So ptr is the nothing but the pointer to the block of memory to be written, and size is size of the each element to be written, which means in the bytes, and n members, so number of elements. So and finally is the file pointer, that means file pointer to the output file stream. See here one simple example. For binary file operation we are using to using in the structure format. The file will be stored in a bin, so in the format of binary mode. So binary file dot bin, comma, it will be created in the write mode. So hash include stdio.gets, library.gets. Here I am going to create one structure variable. Structure. In that structure, I am going to store three elements. That means n1, n2, and n3. So next I created the structure variable num. So next I am creating the one file pointer. File pointer fptr equal to f open the file in the binary mode. Here I am going to mention some values to that n. Then finally I am going to write into the functions. So we'll discuss in the program. So I'm going to create one structure. Structure numbers n1, n2, comma n3. So next inside the main I'm going to create structure variable. Struct 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 numbers. Next I'm going to set flag equal to 0. I'm going to assign the value to the num n1, n2, and n3. So n number dot n1 equal to 10, number dot n2 equal to, otherwise I will insert in here simple line equal to 10, 20, 30. So these are the values I am assigning. Next I'm going to create the one file finder. File fb next fb equal to open of, create the binary file example dot next comma write mode I'm going to, so that's why I'm using wp. I opened the file. Next I'm going to write the data into the file. For that I'm going to use the fwrite function. So here I'm using flag equal to fwrite of, I'm going to it is a binary value, I am going to send the address operator comma size of struct numbers and then comma, it is only one details, one student, one number variables. If I'm using array of numbers means I have to mention here uh, n value based on that array values. And finally the file pointer. That's correct, yes. If flag, if not equal to flag means print write operation failure. Yes, printf. Finally we are going to close the file and then return 0. If I am running this file means yes, completely everything will be completed. So if we run the file means flag equal to 0. I have to mention here So write operation is successful. See here, example.bin, I created the binary file. It shows some values. It is in this human not readable form. That is not understandable form. So this is the binary file created. From this binary file created information, what information I gave here, 10, 20, 30. Actually, this will be available. So once we created the binary file. So next we have to read the data from the binary file. So same operations only, same content. Instead of fwrite, we are going to fread we have to mention. So see here, next that file should be in the form of which mode we have to mention? In a read mode. So read binary means RB we have to mention. So remaining in the fread, same thing will be displayed. And finally, we are going to print the data. So what data we are mentioning here? See that I'm going to erase this all the details. So I'm going to read that file. Read file. Okay. This flag and all no need. These things are all no need. Instead of f right, we are going to mention f read. Once if it is read, I'm going to print the output. Print of percentage, sorry, n1 colon percentage d, n2 colon percentage d, n3 colon percentage d. Comma number dot n1 comma number dot n2 comma number dot n3. So close. We run the file. Sorry. Here I'm using function comma. So it shows 9110 and 220 and 3 is static. So I see here example.bin contains empty, that means unreadable form. But we read the data means it's showing some output. Okay. So here we going to complete these topics. Thank you.